Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name's John, I'm known as the Rock Druid, and welcome to episode 57 of the Druids Dozen. Yeah, I'm a record collector and a DJ. I do a couple of radio shows. I've got the Sunday Rock Show on BCFM radio in Bristol, 93.2 FM, and then there's the Rock Druid Show on astroradio.earth, which is on 3 times a week. And basically, this is me raiding my record collection, waving stuff in front of the camera and chatting for albums for a bit. Gonna have to go through a bit quick today because I'm a bit pushed for time. I'm running a bit late in my general Saturday schedule, so I'll try and get through these fairly quickly, and but hopefully you'll still find it interesting. Okay, vinyl first as always, and a bit of a probably a very well-known album overall. We have this Toto IV by Toto. There is the front, there is the back. Slide this out. Big photo montage. Song credits there. And just a standard CBS label there. Nothing on the run out tracks on this, I don't think. Nothing on that side. And nothing on that side. Right, Toto, this is their best known album, but they've been around. This came out 81. 82. Probably their best known album. Band have been active since the late 70s. Mainly a group of session musicians that got together and decided to form a band. Had a minor hit a couple of years before this with a thing called Hold the Line, but this is the album that broke, kind of made them huge mega stars. As you can see, probably best known for the two singles there, Africa and Rosetta. It's two great tracks, but overall it's a good album. It's kind of very AOR, it's very stadium rock. It's but you know, it manages to avoid a lot of the kind of cliches and kind of tropes that a lot of sort of stadium rock bands can fall into. Yes, it is an album full of lighter wavers, but they're damn good lighter wavers that are damn well played. Besides the two aforementioned big hit singles on here, there's other cracking tracks. I Won't Hold You Back, spine-tingling ballad with a sax solo to die for on there. Who plays the sax on that track? Let's have a look. Doesn't actually say, but there's a... Oh yeah, hang on. A guy called John Smith playing the saxophone on the album. Absolutely stunning sax solo. Amazing string arrangement. And the other one I really like it is Afraid of Love, side 2's opening. The rock and roll-ish track on the album. Quite an up-tempo boppy number. Got a lovely Steve Lukatherwick drum line, and I think the guitarist is. But anyway, the guitars on here are, well, the whole album just amazingly well played. So there's nothing really to kind of complain about. No, Steve Lukatherwick is the guitarist, yeah, so I'm getting mixed up with the drummer, who's Pucciano, isn't it? Yeah. But anyway, yeah, just a superb piece of album, and one that I recommend everyone gives at least a listen to. Not going to be, if you're into death metal, it's not going to be your bag, but You know, if you just like good, well-played rock music, Toto IV. Yeah, not my favourite Toto album overall. There's a couple of others, the earlier ones, that I think are got a bit more edge to them, but this is still a damn fine record. Okay, next up, something interesting. It's this. Live at Louisiana by the Orange Show. There's the front. There is the back. Now, this particular copy I brought a few years ago, surplus stock from Bristol Central Library. Our major library in Bristol has a sort of CD collection you can loan from, and every so often they sort of like items that haven't been loaned out for a bit, or you know, getting near the end of their shelf life, get sold off cheap. So for a 20p you can pick up some good CDs. Picked up this one. There is the credit list in there, and there is the disc itself. However, it also came with this one. This is just called The Orange Show, and it's the band's debut album. And local self-produced stuff. There is the cover, just a single piece of orange card. And another bit of folded paper for the front and back cover. Now, the Orange Show were a Bristol prog rock band with a heavy dose of jazz fusion. Saw them live a couple of times. Yeah, but we're going to mainly talk about live at Louisiana today, because I saw them live a few times. It's really entertaining, just superb musicians. And actually, I need access to this. Four guys in the band. There was John Gould on guitar, on keyboards and vocoder, Eldridge Stevenson on guitar and keyboards, Phil Craig on drums, and a guy called Dick Pimblett on bass. Now, all of which are well-known, well-established, well-respected Bristol musicians. John Gould did 10 years with Alien Stashed in my band. As our lead guitarist and keyboard player, but also this is one of his earlier projects. Very jazz, very prog rock, very jazz fusion. If you think kind of the likes of the Mahavishnu Orchestra or some of John McLaughlin's solo work, you're in a kind of rough ballpark of where these guys are from. Got a bit of a kind of space rock element to them as well. Most of their stuff was just improvised around a pre-arranged theme. So, you know, both this and the other live in the studio album that's already was packaged in with this, are the same. You've got Chance Encounter, The Hedge Monkey, The Unforgettable Bath, Egyptian Death, Prohibited Arias, Eve, Allegro in F, and A Song That Never Ends. Just a lovely piece of jazz rock improvisation. Of course, out of these guys, I don't know what's happened to the rest of them, but John Gould's now got a band called the Gravity Wave Riders, doing kind of jazzy space rock, which are very interesting. But yeah, I don't know how easy their albums are to find. I don't even know when this one came out, the Live at the Louis. (2003). Don't know how easy these albums are going to be to find, but if you like a bit of jazz fusion, the Orange Show they got another 2 albums besides these are rocking around. Well worth checking out. Yeah, live at Louisiana and the Orange Show 2003. Okay, next up, something that's got a bit of interesting packaging with it. There is the front. There is the back. I'll pull it all out because the main sleeve is a carrier bag. And in said brown paper, sorry, carry bag, brown paper bag. In said brown paper bag, you get a lyric sheet, and you get a vinyl record. There we go. This is deleted by Quartz from 1980. Now, originally, when I got this, these were in here, but I have not been able to repackage it so it stays nice. So basically I just got on these plastic sleeves and pain in the backside, but yeah, basically this album deleted by Quartz is a reissue of their eponymous debut album, which originally came out in 1977. So early 1977, Quartz have been around for a couple of years. Recorded their first album, produced by Tony Iommi, which is this one. Originally came out just as under the name Quartz. Saw support in Black Sabbath, then keyboard player Jeff Nichols. Before he left, they did a cover version of Mountains Nantucket Sleigh Ride, which ended up as the theme music for Weekend World, ICV current affairs program. Then they kind of changed labels to MCA, and at the time they got and brought out this album called I can't remember what it's called. Got a picture of a guy with a whip on the front. But anyway, and at that time, the original label, which was Jet, reissued this. I haven't got the original pressing, unfortunately, the original version, but I've got this, and I like it because of its packaging. Got some cracking tracks. Mainline Rider, Street Fighting Lady, The Devil's Brew is a classic song. Smokey, Little Old Lady, Pleasure Seekers. The performances are first rate. Tony Iommi does a fantastic production job on it. It makes it, it gives it a kind of heaviness that's kind of compulsive, but doesn't exactly take away from the because Quartz were quite a lightweight band, but keyboard's almost like a prog rock element. I don't lose that. Yeah, just overall a damn good record. Don't know if this is still available, but worth checking out. Well, all Quartz's albums are worth checking out, but if you can find it, give it a look. Okay, next up, another CD. Here we go. This is The Stench of Deceit by Somnus. There is the front. There is the back. Behind the disc, there is the disc. Here is the booklet. 2011 it came out. And credits and artwork there. Now, Somnus were, I don't know, they're a band I've lost contact with. So I'll put it back so I think we first listened to it. Yeah, it's a band that I've kind of lost contact with, which is a shame because they were pretty good. This is their kind of second kind of EP stroke mini album. I did one that came out just before this, just self-titled. And after that, I'm not sure. But basically, they play kind of deathcore, best way of putting it. Kind of mixture of death metal and hardcore. Makes for a very interesting blend. It's heavy, it's intense, very intelligent lyrics as well. The Rag, I think his name was. Yeah, James Matthew Rag, the vocalist. Quite an insightful lyricist that's got a kind of gift for kind of you know, snaky connections and parallels, etc. So his lyrics take you places you don't think they would. You got some cracking songs on here. Was it The Subtle Kiss Before the Slaughter, Nothing But Ashes, Killer, the Stench of Defeat, HIV, which is, in my opinion, the standout track on here, and A Better Place. It's an angry album. It's quite a political album. It's very, you know, and the music is intense enough to kind of reflect that. Again, availability of this one, I don't know, but if you do get a chance to track it down or see a copy or get it online even, and you like very intelligent kind of sort of deathcore, then this is going to be right up your street. Yeah, Stench of Deceit by Somnus, 2011. Okay, next up, we'll have him. Yeah, this is Organised Crime by Partners in Crime from 1985. There is the front. There is the back. Whip this out. Epic Records, there as you can see. Epic Records. And no run out disc run out groove shenanigans. Now, Partners in Crime, this is the only album they ever did, very obscure band, which is surprising when you realise that the band were formed originally by this guy there. Better picture of him on the back. John Coughlin, the former Status Quo drummer. Right, go back to late 1981. Status Quo in the studio recording the album that would become the 1+9+8+2 album, or 1982. And John Coughlin's sitting there, and according to Alan Lancaster's biography, he was noodling around on the kit one day, and then he just threw down his sticks and said, "Kit this, I've had enough," and walked out. And they all thought, oh, he'll be back tomorrow. He never did. He flew back to his home on the Isle of Man and sent his resignation by telegram the following day. He then took a couple of years out. He said he'd been, you know, he'd had kind of, well, Cochran was with them since 1962, so he'd had all that, you know, 20 years of touring and drugs and, you know, excessive drinking and all, and partying, etc. So he literally took himself off for a couple of years just to kind of do absolutely nothing and get his head together. I then came back with this band, which was a big surprise because, you know, those of you that know Status Quo, it's the 12-bar boogie, it's the heavy blues. But no, with this lot, this is a band that kind of want to be Asia. This is a band that kind of have ambitions of kind of popular prog rock. To the extent they do a passable cover of the Yes track Hold on here. But that's where the good news is really kind of, well, I say good news ends, because there's something lacking about this album. I mean, apart from John Coughlin, all the musicians that play on this album are unknowns. Talented unknowns, but complete unknowns. And I have yet to find out anything else, apart from John Coughlin, what any of them have been up to since this album came out. They are all very much Where Are They Now filers, and which is a shame because they are quite a talented bunch of blokes. You've got a guy called Noel McCullough on vocals, got a sweet voice, got a touch of the John Andersons about him, without being high pitched, squeaky and annoying. Who's the guitarist? Because the guitarist on here, Ray Majors. Tasty guitar player, works well with the keys player, who's Mark Vastic. Yeah, exactly. These people are complete unknowns. The album flopped, and I think the main reason one of the main reasons it flopped was, well, partly that, you know, I never sort of really saw much pushing behind it from the record company, but also John Coughlin, great blues drummer, he hasn't got the flair, the intensity, or the kind of snaz to do music as complicated as what they're trying to do on here. It's almost as if the drumming, although rock solid, holds it back, which is a shame. This is what I like to call a flawed gem of an album. It's not brilliant, but it's kind of maybe historically of interest because of the Coughlin and the Quo connection. But yeah, I'll give it a listen every so often and go, oh, that's disappointing. I thought that could have been better. It's not terrible, it's just not particularly hot. So apart from the Yes cover, Hollywood Dreams and I Can't Forget are probably the two standout cuts, but it's all kind of pretty bland overall. So well played, but blandly played. It just kind of slips past your ears. So yeah, 1985, Partners in Crime, Organised Crime, for Quo fans only, and Quo collectors who like obscure Quo related stuff only, really. Okay, next up, another CD. All our CDs tend to think of Bristol bands this week for some obscure. Oh, one isn't, but 5 of them are Bristol bands. So anyway, this is not Rosetta's Ruins, Bloodline from 2016. There's the front. There is the back. That's how it gatefolds. That's the disc. Credits and a thanks list on there. Right, and as you can tell, autographed on the front. Rosetta's Ruin, Bristol band, 4 or 5 piece, 5 I think. Let's just having a quick look. Yeah, 5 piece outfit. Very much kind of post-hardcore, maybe. Hints of maybe sort of like later period Converge. I'm sure my brain's faded, but yeah, we're kind of post-hardcore band. They've got hardcore elements and but on the other hand, they're not full on, you know. But yeah, Bristol band. My band Alien Stashed played them a few times, and they were a damn nice bunch of lads, and did a pretty good show. This is their second EP, although it's their first official release. There's a demo EP. It came out before this, so in my mind it's their second. Got some cracking tracks on here. My favourite standout song on here is the fourth number, Silhouettes and Sunsets. Kind of got sort of softer edge to it than the rest of the songs on the album, but still damn impressive. The others, Bird and Hands of Heaven, Blinded and The Vow, all pretty sweet tracks. The performances are pretty good. You got Simon Sibley doing a fine job on vocals, particularly, and twin guitars, who I can't see because it's behind the, what you call it, bad packaging idea, people. But overall, that was, you know, it's a good album. Now, sadly, the band split up not long after this album came out. They had two members leave for personal reasons, nothing musical or big busting out, so it was kind of life-changing circumstances. Led to two of the guys stepping down. And then they did advertise for replacements, but they never got them. So the rest of them called it quits about a few months later. But shame, because, but again, they have left behind a couple of great EPs, of which this is one of them. For those of us that can remember them, to honour them with. So yeah, Rosetta's Ruin, Bloodline. It may take a bit of digging, but worth your while if you can find it. Okay, next up, bit more Bristol punk. Here we go. This is Miss England by the Setbacks. There is the front. There is the back. It's a Setbacks sticker. There is the disc. This is 2016 as well. Setbacks are a Bristol punk band. Got they're the classic four-piece, you know, guitar, vocals, drums and bass. They're very much punk of the old school. They got, you know, elements of like the Clash and Stiff Little Fingers in their sound. Very, very good band. Again, these guys have been on the circuit for a good few years. I got bought a string of albums and EPs that come out over the time. Again, my band Alien Stashed have shared bills with them and beers at the bar, and they're a nice bunch of blokes. Do a fantastic live show, and yeah, I brought out some great EPs. This one is probably my favourite of their EPs. The opening cut, Miss England, just superb, driving, pogo fueled bit of frenzy. Your Time, Red Rum Jive, Wasted, all continuing in the same vein. A lot of fun, and just a fine example of what's going on the Bristol punk scene at the moment. Yeah, worth a look if you can find it. And if you, I know this is available online. I don't know about the current physical copy arrangement, but digital downloads are available, and the Setbacks are still very much an ongoing concern. Yeah, Miss England by the Setbacks, 2016. Good stuff. Okay, next up, let's see if I can spot this. Is going to be an interesting one to wave. It's got a very shiny metallic cover. This is Firing on All Six by Lone Star. From 1977. There's the front. There's the back with Lone Star, looking all Lone Starish. Whip this out. obligatory lyric sheet. And is it a credit list on here? No, it's just a lyric sheet. And there we are, CVS Records. Right, Lone Star, hard rock band out of Cardiff. Formed around about 1974. Became quite popular quite quickly over on their local scene. I think these guys supported Whitesnake on one of their early tours, but then was it Deep Purple or Rainbow? One of the two, some Deep Purple connection anyway. Got signed up in 1976, released their first album, which was just called Lone Star. Then punk happened, and all of a sudden, kind of like the bottom, the value drops out of the British hard rock market for a few years. A lot of bands didn't survive. Lone Star was one of them. They struggled on, released this follow-up album 1977, but were making no traction, so broke up. Shame, because these guys had a lot of potential. If you like bands like Uriah Heep, trying to think who else it would be, like Widowmaker, etc. You'll find these very, very engaging. However, there's some good songs on here. Bells of Berlin, Hypnotic Mover, Seasons in Your Eyes, The River's Overflowing, all good sweet tracks. So Uriah Heep's probably the closest I can think of. Maybe elements of UFO floating around in the sound as well. But yeah, good sweet classic British hard rock. Like I said, but the band fell apart 1977, 78, end of 77, early 78, not long after this album came out. Two of them, who was it? Guitarist Paul Chapman, of course, went on to work with UFO and several other bands, became quite renowned as a session player as well. And vocalist John Sloman sadly went on to join Uriah Heep. I say sadly because he's the guy that sang on the worst Uriah Heep album of all time, Conquest, although I don't hold that against him. Also joined up with Gary Moore, did an album or two with him, and then again vanished into the Where Are They Now file. I think he's done some solo albums, John Sloman, I'm not sure. But anyway, Lone Star, quite an obscure band, but worth checking out if you get a chance. Availability of this these days, not sure, but if you're into vinyl, comb the record fairs, try and find it. 4 and on all 6, Lone Star, 1977. Okay, next up, I've covered these on a couple of recent shows, but I thought I'll drag this out and finish the set today. Yeah, Tonota 80, this is their debut EP stroke mini album, Jonesing for Chips. If you don't know, jonesing means craving, as in like, oh, I'm jonesing a pizza, which I am. I'm going to cook one in a minute. But anyway, Tonota 80, kind of heavy alt rock band with a bit of a punk slant to them, out of Kent, Maidstone area. This is their debut album. They've got 2 full-length albums out as well, which are both on a couple of recent shows. Both very, very worthy of listening. In here you have a put it back in there. There's the disc in a little plastic sleeve, and you have basically a lyric book and credit guide there. Yeah, came out 2015. This was their debut release. Like a lot of like other Tonota 80 stuff, I really do like this. This is they're a sweet band with a lot of good ideas. Three talented guys that can knock out a decent tune when they want to. On this one, you got Can't Buy No Emotions, Out of Days, which is probably my favourite track on the album. Quite a punky number, that one. The kind of slightly surreal Rabbits, Home Ground, and Not in Your Hands. Good stuff. I really can't praise Tonota 80 highly enough. I think they're a band with a great future on them if people just got behind them and gave them a listen. So please, if you get a chance, check them out. And I've been chatting to the guys online, and basically there is a new album coming out, or they're going to be recorded soon. So, and there will be tour dates to follow. So yeah, Tonota 80, a band definitely to look out for, and collect their back catalogue while you're at it. I just need a quick slurp of fluid. Okay, vinyl time. Here we go. Death and Progress by Diamond Head. This came out in 1993. There's the front. There's the back. Lyrics, photo montage and credits. Of course, Diamond Head, classic New Wave British heavy metalers. Came out of Stourbridge, I think it was, in the Black Country, and overall just did 3 storming albums in the early 80s. The eponymous debut, also known as Lightning to the Nations. There's Borrowed Time, and then my favourite one, Canterbury. Then the band kind of fell apart. Then about 10 years later they reformed. New album, tour that I saw them on, and yeah, and they were back, and they've never been away since, which is great because I love Diamond Head. Seen them live now several times over the years. This is their comeback album. It's not bad. I've got to admit, it took me a while to get into it. I don't find this album as engaging as those first 3 albums. All those first 3 albums have got a massive punch you in the face and command you to listen factor. This one, it's heavy, but it's more like a kind of listen with menaces kind of vibe to it. Got a couple of guest producers and performers on here. You got Dave Mustaine, produces one track and guest guitar solo, as does Tony Iommi, who produces one song and plays a bit of a lead whittle. Yeah, Lovers in the Night of Starcrossed. Yeah, it's but well, you know, once you get your head around it, it's you know, it's never going to replace Canterbury as my favourite Diamond Head album. It's not even going to dislodge Borrowed Time as my second favourite. But you know, as far as the rest of Diamond Head's concerned, this holds up well with them. Still features Sean Harris and Brian Tatler. Sean Harris left a couple of albums after this, which was sad, but hey ho, that's the way it goes. Yeah, highlights on here: Star-Crossed Lovers in the Night, that's one with Tony Iommi guesting on it. Trucking, which is the Dave Mustaine one. Wild on the Street, Damnation Street, Home, all pretty worthy material. And you know, I reckon you should give it a listen. I will say try it before you buy, because like I said, if your only real experience of Diamond Head is the early stuff, then you might find this a little bit kind of discombobulating. But overall, it's worth sticking with and getting to know. Yeah, Death and Progress, Diamond Head 1983. Leads us on to our last CD for today. This is The Hunt by Blackwolf. There is the front. There's the back. Fold it open. There you got credits. There is a disc. It doesn't want to come out. There we go. And in here we have Business Corp and Stampede Promotions. A booklet with Blackwolf looking very black and wolfish, lyrics, credits, etc. And then on here this is a press release thing. Right, Blackwolf are, I'll explain more in a minute, Bristol hard rock band. They draw favourable sort of like comparisons to bands like Def Leppard, you know, sort of about the Pyromania period, Def Leppard, the good Def Leppard. Little Angels maybe, hints of Heavy Petting. Yeah, good hard rocking, that bit where metal meets hard rock. There layeth Blackwolf. We're actually on the Bristol circuit for quite a while. Brought out a few EPs on this album. Again, a band that Alien stashed in ended up on the same bill with a couple of times, and I've had them in the BCFM studio on a couple of occasions talking about this album and other bits and pieces. Then they had a bit of a line-up change, and I can't remember what they changed their name. I can't remember what they changed their name to. But they were, up until about 2 years ago, still going under a different moniker. But what that is, my mind has just gone. I did look it up before I came on, but my mind has just faded. But I know it's got a number in it somewhere. You know, the Illustrators with an 8 in the middle of it. That's right, the Illustrators. And they're still doing the same kind of stuff. They're still being pretty damn good. But you know, I prefer the Blackwolf days. Yeah, there was even though the name change came about because of the sheer number of black wolves out there on the rock scene. I think there might have been threats of a court case from some American band, although don't quote me on that. But yeah, this album won the BCFM Sunday Rock Show Album of the Year award for the best local album. And yeah, cut hole on here, the top cuts on here include House of Emerald Wine, the fantastic Black Hole Friend, Mr. Maker, absolute headbanger of an opening cut, Faith in Me, Sea of Mercy, Sleepwalking. All good tracks, very, very, very well played. Making this for a bit of a must-hear album. So if you like your kind of, say, Def Leppard's, contemporary bands like Praying Mantis and Hardline, then
yeah, the illustrators, but if you track down this album, I brought it out as Blackwolf, The Hunt, from 2013, then go for it. You'll like. Okay, last one today. Here we go. This is Live Killers by Queen, 1979. There is the front. There is the back. Typical 1970s live album, photo montage across the gatefold. You pull these out, you got a massive load of sort of like album notes on here. And you have a green inner sleeve. And a red inner sleeve. Yeah. And I'll say it, one of the seminal live albums, one of the great classic 70s double live jobs. You can add to that things like Quo Live, Thin Lizzy's Live and Dangerous, Frampton Comes Alive. You know what a good live album's like. This is a good live album. This is a very good live album. Recorded at various points on their European tour, January to March 1979, and released later that year. Yeah, Queen did a couple of live albums over the years. This is probably the hallmark one. Yeah, yeah, you got kind of live magic, but even though I was at that gig, it doesn't hold a candle to this. Yeah, Queen are one of these bands. They are something for everyone. They're poppy enough for the pop fans. They're kind of like, when they want to rock out, God, can these boys turn up the heavy volume. On here you got tracks like Tie Your Mother Down, Sheer Heart Attack, Keep Yourself Alive, Don't Stop Me Now, Brighton Rock, all of which are in Queen in full-blown metal mode. Then, you know, they're kind of poppy enough for the people that like it poppy. You know, on here you've also got things like Killer Queen, Bicycle Race, I'm in Love with My Car, We Are the Champions, and of course Bohemian Rhapsody, which is they unashamedly the bits that they can't play live, you know, all the stacked vocals, etc. They play on backing tape and play along to it. So yeah, I make no bones about it. I mean, when I saw Queen live I was at Queen's last ever gig, you know, with Freddie, Nebworth Park, 1986, and you know, when they did Bohemian Rhapsody, he just goes roll the tape and then goes ding 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 ding, etc. Yeah, overall a storming live album. Freddie Mercury, one of the I've seen loads of good frontmen, you know, Fish, Rob Halford, Roger Daltrey, but you know, Robert Plant, but Freddie Mercury has got to be the best frontman I've ever seen live, and also probably one of the greatest most distinctive rock vocalists of all time. Brian May, atomic guitar playing, rhythm section, John Deacon, Roger Taylor, absolutely superb, make for a great band, and this is a great album. Something all decent music fans should have in their collection. Yeah, Queen Live Killers, 1979. Good stuff. Yeah, sorry this week was a bit of a kind of hasty thrown together bit. I got a bit delayed due to various other jobs and bits and pieces, and then I dozed off in front of the Tour de France. So I apologise for that. So therefore it was a bit of a rush this week. But hopefully normal service will be resumed next week. You want to check out the radio shows? Links are down there on YouTube, over there on Facebook, Finger Dance. And yeah, remember, if you like what you hear, want to give me feedback on the comments, correct any mistakes that I made, because I am a coded human after all. Yeah, there's the comments down there, YouTube, over there on Facebook. Please feel free to make a note, hit a like if you like, and subscribe if you want to know when the next one's coming out. So that's it. Until next week, Pete's. I'm off to make a pizza. Bye.